Okay. Are we ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It is To Kill a Delibird. We are here on episode 10. It is our 10th episode. We hit double digits, baby.
10th anniversary, folks.
Hell yeah. As you know, this is the podcast where we rewatch through the old Pokemon anime. We recap it, go through the story, and make comparisons to things that make absolutely no sense some of the time. I'm Kellen, as per usual. I am here in a different setup, so if I sound a little different, that's why. But my co-host is in the same setup as usual. It's Graham. Graham, how you doing?
I'm the usual. Same setup, same sound.
Fantastic.
We got a special guest this week, though.
Yeah, do you want to introduce our special guest?
Well, yeah, sure. So, this episode, these two episodes that we're doing, are all about love. So we invited a love expert to tell us about relationships to the episode. This is Kellen's brother, my cousin, a longtime enjoyer and professional love possessor. Nolan, welcome to the podcast.
What makes me a love expert in your mind?
You're married.
Oh,
You just
okay.
you just get it, man. Love's just something that comes to you
Yes.
naturally. Nolan, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes. Sure. Yes. All right. So yeah, I'm Nolan, Kellen's brother, Graham's cousin. I watched Pokemon Indigo League way back when I was a kid. Been played Pokemon games. I played Red, played the crap out of Silver, and then didn't really play anything until Soul Silver came out. And then I played that, a little bit of Black, Pokemon Sun. And then, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Pokemon. I know a little bit. I'm just going to be asking a lot of questions, probably.
You don't know shit, let's be real.
I know some things.
In terms of the scale between Graham and Kellen, Nolan probably falls closer to me in the sense that we know some Pokemon stuff, but we will appeal to the expert for Pokemon things. But you know a lot about non-Pokemon stuff, which we cannot say about Kellen.
I've got
That's
yeah.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, if we start talking Full House, I'm gonna be right on that.
We are not going to talk
Nope.
about Full House.
What about Big
Vetoed.
Brother?
Yeah, you never
not
know.
a chance. Get under Kellen's skin with that one.
Your TV tastes are horrible, man.
Fuck you.
Other people are like, did you catch the latest episode of The Last of Us? And Kellen's like, oh, did you hear what happened on The Masked Singer? No, I did not.
Hey, I haven't watched Masked Singer since right before the Rudy Giuliani reveal.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing I know about the Masked Singer is when Ken Jeong walked off and Rudy Giuliani got revealed.
It was a
So,
fucking stupid decision.
yeah.
I don't understand how that got through. Anyway,
Controversy.
Pokemon.
Sells.
Pokemon. Yeah, we're going to get into the episodes right away. I wanted to go back to that theme of love before we get into them, though. This will be a love-themed episode. These episodes feature love highly, so I did a bit of a deep dive into other love-themed podcasts. You want to hear these?
Oh, absolutely.
Hit us.
First one I found, Infatuation Station with DJ Love. That's a hard-hitting love radio show. Okay, a deep dive on Courtly Love with Courtney Love. She has a Courtly
Oh my
Love
God.
podcast. Here's one I like.
I don't know if I would trust Courtney Love's opinion on love.
Well, I think she would know about Courtly Love. We'll get into Courtly Love later, but that's
Fair
that
enough.
obsessive kind of love,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Here's a good one. Hot and Heavy, Erotic Stories of Jabba the Hutt. And then one of my favorites, Set Phasers to Stunned, Kirk and Spock behind the scenes.
Oh, I love that one.
Ooh.
I'm a big fan of
Crazy.
behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
set Phasers to Stunned. Oh,
Love
my.
it.
Scintillating.
Yeah. All right, what episodes are we going to talk about
Okay,
today,
today we are talking about two episodes. We're looking at episode 20, The Ghost of Maiden's Peak, and episode 21, Bye Bye Butterfree. The latter of which being definitely one of the more iconic episodes of the entire anime.
Yeah, I remember out of the few episodes that I remember vividly when I watched it when it was coming out in North America, Bye Bye Butterfree is is one of them.
Yeah, I remember that one too. Actually, I didn't remember Maiden's Peak.
How do you guys feel about these episodes?
There's a lot of weird stuff in these episodes, but they're good.
Yeah.
They're good. At least Ghost of Maiden's Peak is actually like the kind of episode I'm definitely into, because it's weird.
Well, it's fucking
It
weird.
is weird. Yeah.
Very fucking weird.
Yeah.
Strange. Some interesting implications in
Ooh,
the
yeah.
Pokemon
and we'll
universe.
get to that.
Love me an interesting implication.
Let's get into it. Episode 20, The Ghost of Maiden's Peak. So we open on the apparition of this girl. We don't know anything about her, waiting for somebody, and it reveals itself to be an actual Ghastly, a ghost Pokemon.
Yeah, we see this creepy statue. It's on the peak of kind of a cliffside peak. Yeah, and this statue's talking. Return to your beloved. I'm waiting for you. And then we see the Ghastly kind of emerging
Ghastly.
through it. and it just tell us what a Ghastly is.
Ghastly is the ghost Pokemon of Generation 1. There is one line of ghost Pokemon. It's Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar. You catch them in Lavender Tower. And they're literally the only ghost Pokemon. And they're kind of broken, and I don't think even in the OP way, because Ghost is supposed to be the type that's good against Psychics. Except for the fact that in Gen 1, they fucked it up and made Psychic immune to Ghost moves by accident. Which is not how it's supposed to be.
All I remember
Okay.
is it Agatha? Is that the
Yep.
the Elite Four user?
Yep.
All I remember is her Gengars being a pain in the butt
Mhm.
to get through.
Yeah, and also there's supposed to be the answer to Sabrina, which is a Psychic type trainer, and it's a Poison type, so it's even weak to Psychic moves. So I don't know what the hell they were thinking with the Ghastly line.
So it's supposed to be busted, but it's just a bust?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
Huh. All right. So and he looks like a Pac-Man with purple gas around him or something.
Yeah, he's just an orb.
Fangs.
He's an orb.
It's just an orb.
Orb.
Like one of those specs you see on the camera when people take pictures of ghosts.
Oh, like a face in the background.
Yeah.
So the gang has finally left Porta Vista. They're off to Maiden's Peak. They have reached, and Brock is really depressed. He is so sad. Why is Brock sad?
Because he's a
Oh.
creep.
He's a creep.
Because he somehow thinks that he can only like girls are only interesting during bikini season for some reason.
I wonder why
Like-
that would be.
Well, he's not able to think of, I don't know. He's not attracted to girls outside of bikini season apparently.
He's a loser, man. And everyone has had that one friend who is just like so obsessed with sex to the point that it's like gross and annoying.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, dude, just knock it off.
He is a 15-year-old.
That's not an excuse.
No, it's
you
definitely
keep
not.
saying that.
I'm just no. What
Kellen,
I'm saying,
boys will be
what
boys.
Kellen
I'm
relates.
Yeah, wow.
saying, what I'm saying. Remember when you were 15? This kind of shit was on your mind all the time too.
Yeah, but that's the
and don't act
that's
like it
the
wasn't.
thing though. Is like raging hormones.
You weren't voicing it all the
Raging
time.
hormones is one thing,
Mhm.
but like how you express that, what you do with that, is something entirely
Mhm.
different. And if even at 15, if you're hanging out with Brock and he was doing this shit nonstop,
Yeah.
you'd be like, bro, just like go jerk off.
Yeah.
Like calm down.
Go deal with your shit and come back.
Exactly. Take a cold shower.
I'm well aware of people doing.
You're well
that. I
aware
have
of
a,
what jerking
quote-unquote
off is?
friend. No, not
The
that.
gang teaches Kellen about masturbation today
Wow, what an
on today's episode.
That sounds like an Always Sunny title
It
card.
does.
my
The
God.
gang. Yeah. Okay, so Brock's a creep
Okay,
and
no,
he's depressed, right?
No, let me finish what I was saying.
What are you saying?
A mess already. I know what it's like to be around people who are
Yeah.
like that, because I had a quote-unquote friend in high school who went through a phase of never shutting up about the boobs around him, and it was very
That
disgusting.
is a little.
Did you call him Brock?
No.
Oh, that would be
Unfortunately.
good.
It's too bad we didn't have the term simping back then, because
Right, it was just boys will be boys.
yeah.
We see Team Rocket being dragged in a barrel on behind that ferry to wherever they're going.
What's up with that? Did something happen in the previous episode?
Yeah, they were there at the end of last episode. when they were leaving
On.
with the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were in that barrel.
Well, and their Gyarados submarine would have been
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Got fucked up.
destroyed. Oh no, that's before. I don't know. All of these stupid episodes are. I mean, all these fantastic episodes are blending together. But yeah, the Gyarados submarine got fucked up, and then nothing good happened to them during the Tentacruel invasion. So
Okay. I was curious about that.
they're just hitching a ride.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Maiden's Peak is having a Summer's End festival, during which Brock spots a woman standing on the dock who resembles the woman from the opening that we saw, and Pikachu sees her turn into a Ghastly and disappear.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, does Pikachu see the Ghastly?
I believe he did.
Because it almost looked like it's almost like Pikachu saw through the ghost like apparition even before it turned back into a Ghastly.
And it's almost like Pikachu could have solved this whole crisis from the beginning.
By
More
playing
evidence that
charades.
Pikachu's is a bit of a scumbag. A lovable scumbag. I'm not a Pikachu hater. I love
Pikachu
Pikachu.
just likes to run social experiments.
He
Yeah.
does. He's a little sociopath.
Which
Yeah,
we'll see in the next episode. Big time.
big time.
So James also sees this woman while Team Rocket is planning on just scouring the festival for any loose change. That's their plan today.
Right, so we learn that Maiden's Peak is this little town. It's having a festival. Yeah, they want to. Their devious plan is to find loose change on the street. Okay,
Yeah. Meowth wants cotton
incredible.
candy.
Yeah.
And a corn dog.
And a coin dog.
Coin
Yes.
dog.
Coin dog.
Coin
Let's
dog.
get a coin dog.
Okay, question. Does Meowth refer to himself in the Thoid Poison a lot?
Thoid
or
Poison?
is that just
Yeah.
now?
No,
I don't
I
believe
think
that's
he does.
normal.
Thoid Poison. That's how he speaks.
Thoid poison.
His Thoid Poison.
I don't think that's normal.
Yeah, he says Meowth a lot.
Does he?
doesn't he? You don't
Okay.
think that's normal?
I
Oh,
haven't
thought that
picked
was.
up on it if he does.
Wow, we really know our shit.
Yeah.
Asking the tough questions here.
Okay, we gotta tie up though, kind of what's happening with them seeing this girl, right? This is the girl now from the intro, and Brock has seen her and is getting really obsessed. James is also getting obsessed, right?
Mm-hmm. They're
Is
both
that
under her
happening already?
spell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's happening immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, and now that they're kind of at the festival grounds, it's still daytime. An old woman appears, and this is a very much an anime cliche, right?
I was
Like,
gonna
this
say
is-
she's giving me fortune teller Baba vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
from
That's
Dragon
exactly
Ball.
who she is. Yeah, fortune teller Baba from Dragon Ball, who is an older trope too. I think
Uh-huh.
that's the origins that I can think of in anime is fortune
Okay.
teller Baba. And then there's a nod to her in JoJo's Part 3, Stardust Crusaders. That's pretty
Mm-hmm.
notable as well. But I think the whole trope is an older folklore kind of thing.
Okay.
In my notes, I've got there's a term they use in Japanese, Yamauba, which means mountain witch. Also, Baba means witch. It's like a derogatory term for an old woman, like like crone, for example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this is a folklore kind of theme of an old woman who looks like that and lives in the forest, and travelers would come along and find either curses or fortune kind of thing. And this is also just even an old sort of folklore cliche, like the witches from Macbeth or Baba Yaga in Eastern European folklore. So that's what this old lady looks like. So she's got, I don't remember if this one has a hat. I know fortune teller Baba has a hat, but she's got this like old crooked cane. And there's this way where like in anime, so I imagine like, okay, so Misty's a 10-year-old, right? And
Mhm.
she's however tall. And then as you get older, maybe you're Jesse's height, right?
Yep.
And then when you get really old, you're like 2 feet
Yeah.
tall. You like turn into like a little gremlin.
Yeah. There's something, Kellen, that I think you'd be interested. I don't know if you picked up on this when they first introduced the what is this thing? The festival. There we go. That's the word.
Jesus Christ.
When they first
Oh
introduced
my.
the festival and they're panning and they're panning across to like show the different things at the festival, the same audio
Yeah.
line gets used
Yeah,
twice.
I heard
The
that.
exact same one.
Let's go on the
It's
Ferris wheel.
Let's go on the Ferris wheel.
Let's go on the Ferris
Yeah.
wheel.
and then
Let's
like
go on the
5
Ferris
seconds
wheel.
later, let's go on the Ferris
Let's
wheel.
go on the Ferris wheel.
Wow, you really are part me and part Kellen. You in the same breath caught a Dragon Ball reference and a and a production error.
Best of both worlds, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here amazed at how long it took you to come up with the word festival.
That happens a lot.
Oh,
Get used to it.
get us to our next plot point, Kellen.
Okay, so yeah, at this festival, we missed the part where Brock insults this old lady, says that she's not a beauty, and she warns him of a young beauty that will make them meet a cruel fate. And Misty thinks it's her, but she would never hurt Brock, and instead she hurts Ash.
Of course.
Classic.
How strong is Misty though here?
Quite. Misty's got some power.
Pulling Brock and Ash.
Well, she's got tsundere energy, tsundere muscles. That's a term we talked about before of the anime trope where it's like a girl who really just like beats everyone up, but then it has like sweet sides. Yeah, that's her tsundere powers. She can beat up anyone when she's in tsundere mode.
Yeah, it's like the Avatar state.
Yeah.
So Team Rocket can't find any money. The old lady also warns Team Rocket of the same young woman. And then they find a penny, a shiny penny on the ground. And Officer Jenny's back. She tells Team Rocket they're being good people for picking up loose change and reporting it to the police. They're going to file a report for one fucking penny.
No, Jenny's keeping that.
Yeah, she's a crooked cop.
Yeah.
We've seen it in the past.
She just strong-armed them into giving her the money.
She's got this whole town in her pocket.
Yeah.
At the festival, we see an old painting is shown to the public. It gets brought out every year, and Brock and James are completely smitten by this painting. It's of the woman we saw before. She died 2,000 years ago, standing upon a cliff waiting for her love to return until she turned to stone herself.
Oh, this painting reminds me of like almost every JRPG I've ever played.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, me?
Elaborate.
Yeah, elaborate.
I don't really know. Like, I can't put my finger on it. Like, I can't think of a specific example of where I feel like I've seen something like this, like, in the past.
Do you think it's just because it is that sort of old school, and I don't really know the era specifically, but it's an older form of Japanese art that they're using there, and a lot of JRPGs will have like sort of in a Western RPG when there'd be like a medieval area or something, there's sort of like the equivalent of that in Japanese games, but it's always like a feudal Japan sort of region or something like that.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they definitely lean on that art style. And even there's examples of, say, like paintings playing a big role in a lot of Japanese media too. So Super Mario 64 is a big one, right? Jumping into paintings.
Luigi's Mansion.
Persona 5 has like a really big story arc all about a painter and paintings and how that's kind of attached to people. Like there's sort of this reverence for paintings and their attachment to the supernatural and to people's souls in a lot of Japanese media. Yeah, Kellen, did you shut out Luigi's Mansion?
Luigi's Mansion, of course.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Where everyone's turned into paintings and our favorite Luigi has to get them back. Mario!
Great game.
Mario! Oh, nice.
That was good. That was
good. Yeah.
Now my throat's gonna hurt.
Okay, anything else on the painting?
No, they're just completely smitten by it and they hear the story. Then they go up to the rock, the Maiden's Peak rock. Brock and James just cannot control themselves. They are completely
they're getting
entangled.
ridiculous. Yeah.
I found it interesting that Brock fell in love with a rock woman.
Oh, that's good. He did. Oh, because he's a rock trainer.
Oh,
yeah, he's a rock trainer. And
I was thinking because his name was Brock.
And his name is Brock because he's a rock type trainer.
Yeah.
They're all
so deep.
Usually.
So deep.
There's layers on. It's an onion. It's layers upon layers.
And it stinks. Yeah.
Did you ever realize that Misty is Misty because of mist water?
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, no. I actually didn't.
I'm gonna blow your mind with this one. Lieutenant Surge, electric type,
What?
surging.
What? Okay, that one I caught it.
Blaine,
Yeah.
Flame.
Oh yeah, that one. Oh my god, they all are. But they're not. They're not like Sabrina.
I don't know how to reach Erica, Koga, and
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Hey,
I
don't know.
There you go.
Maybe
That might actually be it.
That might work.
When
don't
was
know.
that on? I don't even know.
What did you say about Koga?
I don't know.
I don't
Koga, I
know.
can't figure out. Koga,
Oh.
I don't know.
I imagine, like, if some of them are puns, I bet a lot of them are.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
in Japanese, I bet you they're all puns. That's something to look up in the future, but not now because it's not
puns.
relevant to this
Yeah.
episode. Team Rocket's thinking of stealing the painting. They're like, we've been thinking of stealing Pokemon, but paintings are also worth money, so
The
we can steal
high-end thievery. They're
Oh.
up in the game.
Yeah, they're moving up.
Yeah, and Brock decides that he's just gonna sit there all night and just stare at this rock all night
Yeah,
long.
he's
which,
obsessed.
Jesus
So
Christ.
Ash
Brock.
and Misty are gonna
In
go
a
back to the
trance.
Poke Center they're staying at, and Brock just has to make it back by the 11 p.m. curfew.
Yeah, there's a curfew
and
apparently.
it's a curfew time, and he's still
Yeah.
not there. Well,
What's
they're
up with
kids.
this curfew thing? Is there?
Is this a state-imposed
Yeah,
curfew?
literally, I was about to say, is there? What kind of police state are they living
What
in?
kind of
here?
police state is
and
this?
the blast doors come down in the Poke Center. It's like
Right.
no
Yeah,
one's getting in and no one's getting out.
That feels very irresponsible for the hospital to shut its doors after a certain time
Yeah.
completely, like walk everybody out.
Yeah, there's no emergency room.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could rent rooms at the Pokemon centers. Are they also? They're also hotels.
Well, sometimes they just like sleep on the couches in the lobby, but I guess some may have
Yeah,
rooms.
Like
I
an
almost
airport.
think hostel is a better
Yeah.
analogy.
Oh, yeah, I
because
guess so.
like that's what it looked like in that episode where they meet Charmander. Is it actually looks a lot like a mountain hostel?
Yeah, kind of like in a
That
common.
one.
You're in the common area. of
Yeah,
the
like a
hostel.
common sleeping area kind of thing.
Mhm.
But it is weird this curfew, and maybe this is a slight view into more of the politics of the Pokemon world. Very interested in the mechanisms behind all of this. But Joy doesn't. So she comes out, Earthstrike comes out, but she doesn't enforce like the law of why there's a curfew, like the legal reasons. She just
Mhm.
says that staying up late is bad for the skin, bad for your appetite, and makes you irritable.
Good life advice.
Oh, Joy rules.
so.
I'm a hard convert. Coming into this show, in my head I was like, I thought I would like Jenny better. I've said this before, and probably honestly just because of her design. Like she looks pretty cool. But Joy's awesome.
Joy's way better.
And Jenny's
You
a
like those motherly
scumbag.
roles, hey.
Oh, love the mummies, the anime mummies. Oh boy,
I
who
hate
doesn't
that.
love an anime mummy?
I hate that so much.
Why? The
What a-
term
what a day to
mummy
have
is
ears.
kind of hard on the ears, actually.
Yes,
a little bit.
absolutely.
It's a little gross.
The internet has ruined it almost to the point of daddy as well. Ugh.
Oh yeah. Take us to the next point, K Daddy.
Later, oh my god. Later that night, Team Rocket is sleeping, hanging from trees like little cocoons. When
was
the-
Yeah, this is the
Why?
next what the
What's
fuck moment.
What's the point of that?
Why not?
Why are they sleeping like cocoons? That is not a why not situation.
I mean, yeah.
They could have slept on the ground.
Yeah, but that's boring.
Maybe they're big brain. Maybe that's what camping should be. You suspend yourself from a tree like in a cocoon.
So they're hanging from this
I mean,
tree.
they have those. Those are called hammocks.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
this
but you're
is
not
like
hanging
vertical.
vertically.
I
Like
know.
a vertical hammock.
That's how they sleep in the space station. They zip themselves up.
Really?
Yeah, no, that's how they do it. It literally they go like the sleeping bag is attached to a wall. They go
Oh,
in,
yeah.
they zip themselves up, and it keeps them like contained so they don't float around.
There you go. I think Team Rocket's onto something here. And they're doing this. They're sleeping right beside the shrine, right?
Yeah, that ghost comes back again, puts Meowth back to sleep, hypnotizes him back to sleep, and James wakes up, appears to Brock and James, who, once we cut to morning, they have both gone missing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
No,
And
here's a
this is
question.
so cool. Oh yeah, go ahead. No.
Oh, does Ghastly ever learn Charm?
Good question.
Can Ghastly learn Charm?
Good question. I will look that up.
Well, Kellen's looking that up. What's charm?
So Charm is a move where in if the Pokemon uses it against a Pokemon of the opposite sex, then
Wrong.
the Pokemon that it was used upon doesn't want to attack them anymore, isn't it?
You're thinking of Attract.
Oh, I'm thinking of Attract. Okay, sorry. Well, what I said about Charm, replace it with Attract, and then I'm correct. Sorry, that's the move that I wanted you to look up. Attract.
Well, either way, regardless, Attract wasn't a move until Gen 2, so even if he can learn it, it would still be incorrect.
Right, yeah, okay. I remember like a Sentret or a Furret using Attract.
A Furret. That's like
Furret.
a ferret?
Ferret Pokemon, yeah. Sentret is the one who stands up on its tail like a sentry.
Ooh. Ghastly cannot learn Attract.
That's a classic JRPG trope, the Attract or Charm move to make the enemies start attacking other enemies for you.
There's a champion in League of Legends that does it, and it's based off of the nine-tailed like fox lady from Japanese
Kitsune.
mythology.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know much about it. I imagine you know more than I do, but
I just know the name. That's about it.
okay. So the mythology she would come
pops
in, like,
up everywhere. Pops up in lots of series.
So now that it's morning, Ash and Misty are looking for Brock. Jesse's looking for James around this shrine. They bump into each other, and Jessie starts to try to do the motto all by herself, imitating James. This is a good motto moment. This is a good motto moment.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I appreciate when they put some effort into making the mottos fun again, because the default motto is so boring by this point.
Mm-hmm. And so after that, they hear James kind of reciting his part of the motto in the distance. He and Brock come flying out of the shrine. They didn't look inside the building looking for them. They just looked around the perimeter.
Maybe they thought it was locked.
As one does.
Well, they didn't try it.
And I also like her line, if you aren't here, at least come out and tell us.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. I do that a lot with students sometimes. I'll like take attendance if I'm subbing. Backstory, I'm a teacher. So I'll do that when I'm subbing, and I'll get all the people say yes, here, and then I'll say, anybody not here, raise your hand.
Oh, they fucking hate that joke by now. But there's probably one kid. There's probably one kid who absolutely loves it.
I'm sure
to the point where if you don't say it, like their day is ruined.
I don't say it every time. It's a special occasion.
Oh,
bad joke.
Like a Friday or a Tuesday.
There's one teacher that plays Rebecca.
Oh my god, I was just gonna say
that's horrible.
Every single week on Friday at the start of every single class while you're walking in, he will be playing Rebecca Black's Friday.
It's Friday.
And every single week when he does that, as class begins, he'll turn off the song and be like, I just heard this hot new jam by a Ms. Rebecca Black. I thought I'd play it for you guys. It's a hot new jam. He's great.
Oh, that's actually not bad. You know what? That's commitment to the bit.
It is.
I like it. That's the kind of thing that at first it's cringy and then it becomes, even worse. But eventually it kind of breaks through that cringe barrier.
Yeah.
It comes out the other side and it sort of becomes funny somehow. Commitment to the bit.
Okay, so that old lady comes back again and explains the whole situation as to what's going on. Brock and James have seen the ghost of the Maiden, and Pikachu is able to shock them out of their trance. So, good Pikachu moment.
So, Ash's solution for anything is to get Pikachu to shock. Right? This one, I guess...
Restart the heart.
Yeah, restart them. Well, there was this previous episode, I don't remember if you remember this, Nolan. I think it was the one in the sinking ship, where Ash is like, I need a problem solved. Pikachu, jumpstart my brain.
Yeah.
He gets Pikachu to... That's like this. He just gets Pikachu to shock everything to solve anything. It makes no sense.
Get that endorphin rush, that adrenaline.
Yeah, I guess so. Pikachu, try to kill me. That will help.
Get me closer to God.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Get that inspiration.
Oh, Ash is one of those weirdos who talks about sativa all the time, aren't they? Like take this radical drug and you will see what happens when you die. That's Ash.
Oh, imagine
But with
Ash on
Pikachu
ayahuasca.
shocks. Yeah, ayahuasca. That's what I was thinking of.
The old lady explains that the men get the life sucked out of them from this ghost. Brock doesn't care, though. He's still fucking horny.
Yeah, he is. He's so into it, and
He
it's
will get
weird.
his life drained.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, drain me, drain me, woman. Do it. I dare you. And the old woman has a solution. It's these anti-ghost stickers, which she's gonna charge money for. This is. I don't totally know how this is pronounced, but I think they're called Ofuda. This is a thing from I think they use them in both Shinto and Buddhist religions in Japan, but they're various charms, fortunes that are on like pieces of paper like that. That's what that's mocked up after.
It's just a protection racket right at this point in
Yeah.
in the episode.
Yeah.
Not the other stuff, but the episode specific.
Yeah, she's a total grifter.
Totally.
Making them pay for for these stickers.
Right, and getting these stickers.
You can't give them away for free.
Creating the situation, creating the culture of fear,
Ooh.
and then selling the solution.
Oh, that's a spoiler. Yeah. This is kind of big brain and totally creating the market and then exploiting it. So now it's night, and they've got these stickers everywhere, right? All over the shrine, all over Brock and James. And then the ghost appears anyways and just blasts all the stickers away.
Yeah, because the ones on James don't work because Team Rocket got it for free. For every couple sets of stickers that the gang bought, Team Rocket got a set for free. Freebie stickers, as we all know, do not work.
You have to
What?
earn it.
Yeah.
They're also the only ones that stay, though. Like, Brock's and the ones on the shrine all fly away. And then the ones on James actually stay there, but they still go into the spiel about how they're not working because they were freebies. I think what is actually going on is that this is definitive proof that Brock is just the bigger simp than James. Brock will not deviate from simping.
It's his core identity.
It's his core, exactly.
It's all he knows.
What were those things you were telling me about, Kellen, like in Pokemon, like innate abilities that some of them will have?
Yeah,
like
abilities.
SIs or something?
Yeah. Abilities.
That's Brock. He has like ultra simp ability. Simp max.
Jesse was about to blow up this, or try to blow this thing up.
Yeah, Jesse
Rocket
tries to
launcher.
shoot a ghost with a rocket.
It's awesome.
I don't know what she's trying to do here.
And where did it come from?
They just have rocket launchers in their back pocket.
Yeah. So the ghost apparition is pulling Brock and James away, and Jesse to save James, pulls out this rocket launcher, blasts him. Jesse's the MVP of this episode for me. I think
really
she's
is,
the
yeah.
hero. She's got the strongest message. She's basically like, look, Ghost, you're pushing a dated agenda. I know you're 2,000 years old, so it's kind of makes sense, but you're pushing this dated agenda of like a woman's whole identity hinging on her man. And she's like, just like, do your thing. Don't live your life for other people. Like, be yourself. I was like, and she's got a rocket launcher. I was like, damn, Jesse's hella cool right now.
I think I always liked Jessie. She always stood out to me as like a good character.
Yeah, she's
even
cool.
like way back when I was watching it, she never annoyed me. But as like a 6-year-old or whenever it came out. So yeah, I have a question about that rocket launcher, and I just had a thought. Maybe Team Rocket, where all these items, maybe they're like quote unquote prowess, not necessarily Jesse and James particularly, but Team Rocket as an organization, maybe they figured out a way to take that Pokemon storage technology of the balls and do it with stuff.
Oh,
Maybe that's where all these things are coming from. Maybe she's got like a utility belt of miniature Pokemon balls.
I like this.
And
that
then
she can
like,
have
it
rocket
expands,
launchers.
and she can just she can apparate a rocket launcher out of the Pokeball. Or
Well,
ball,
that's
whatever you call it.
another Dragon Ball reference. Then it's
Oh, yeah, the
alternate
capsule.
reality capsule corp.
Yeah.
Team Rocket is the Bulma, the
Yeah.
Brief Foundation or whatever they are.
Bulma has crazy blue hair. Jessie has crazy
Oh.
red hair. Maybe.
Oh, this is going deep.
So she starts to attack the crew. The ghost starts to attack the crew with actual ghosts. Dexter is unable to detect any sort of Pokemon presence in it, but then Dexter's able to detect a Ghastly inside the ghost of the Maiden. And I thought this was a really cool moment of them trying to figure out, like, what are these things? Are these Pokemon? And then Dexter being able to see through the ghost's disguise and determine that, yes, it is in fact Ghastly.
And at that point, the Ghastly, like, reveals itself.
Mm-hmm. Ghastly.
And it talks.
Is Ghastly actually talking, or
Can
is this like
speak
a
English.
Telepathy thing?
Its mouth
Yeah,
was
Kellen
moving.
teaches.
Its mouth
Well,
was moving, so I'm
it's
pretty sure it was
really,
speaking.
Does Ghastly have lungs?
But it's like an illusion apparition that he's telepathically inducing in people's brains, right?
I don't think it's
They can
that
go
deep.
into the mind.
Yeah, is Ghastly even physical? Does Ghastly have
They don't
lungs?
take normal damage, right? Or am I
Yeah,
wrong
they don't
about
take
that
damage
too?
from normal moves.
So they only take elemental damage.
Oh, wait.
I don't know. I think he's actually talking.
Isn't it weird that he was talking though? Like this isn't normal, right? Like most Ghastlies don't do this.
Oh yeah,
It's
no,
like a
this isn't
special
this isn't
Ghastly?
normal. Yeah, Ash tries to fight it, and this Ghastly has solutions for everything Ash throws at it. Yeah, it goes for
This is
Pikachu.
awesome.
Ghastly turns into a fucking mousetrap. Tries to kill Pikachu.
This was some Looney Tunes shit. This was
Yeah,
like very
great.
Tom and Jerry. It was
I
great.
love this.
Acme shows up.
Yeah. Makes a mouse trap, then a
Stops
cat toy.
Meowth with a cat toy.
Yeah, I had a thought here. Is like, Meowth, well, you're never gonna take Persian's spot if you allow yourself to get distracted that easily.
Mm-hmm. Ekans gets scared off by a real life mongoose, like not a Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's just a straight up mongoose.
Yeah, not a Pokemon. The real life animal, a mongoose.
What's interesting, I was looking through the dub edit stuff. So in the English dub, it's the mongoose says it's dinner time, but in the original Japanese, it actually just says mongoose, like a Pokemon would say its name.
They should have kept that.
They should have kept that.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when coughing is gonna use its gas, the mongoose suddenly has a gas mask on.
Yeah, James says coughing use poison gas, which is not a move it can learn in Gen 1.
Not a move, folks.
Nope, it can't learn that in Gen 1. It can learn it in Gen 2, but not Gen 1.
That doesn't make any sense. They're like filled with smoke, aren't they?
Yeah, nothing in
Aren't they
Generation 1 makes
gassy?
any fucking sense whatsoever.
You heard it here first, folks. Gen 1 doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. That's not even a hot
okay.
take. Charizard couldn't learn fly originally.
It's a cold take. Only the coldest takes here, folks. Like that beachside food last episode. Get it while it's cold.
Yeah, so Ghastly stomps down the coughing with his gas mask. Smoking is prohibited.
I felt really bad for Charmander this one.
Oh,
'cause
it's so sad.
Ghastly turned into a fire extinguisher and was trying to put out his flame.
That would
Yeah,
kill
that's
Charmander.
sad.
That would kill
That
him.
was too far. Well,
That
a
was-
mousetrap would kill Pikachu, too.
Yeah, it's true.
Also, isn't it weird that
But
even
he's also
in this...
playing into Charmander's trauma. So
Aww,
it's like double
Mm.
bad.
that is bad.
Ghastly, what the
Yeah.
hell's wrong with you? Not cool.
Not
Ghastly
cool.
probably didn't know. So
Doesn't mean he's allowed to try to kill Charmander.
So Ghastly's next apparition is
Love
awesome.
this.
So Ash sends out
It's
Bulbasaur and Squirtle at the same time, tag team, and so like Ghastly makes apparition of Venusaur and Blastoise, and then another This was definitely a Dragon Ball reference.
Fusion
it has to be.
It has to be.
Yeah.
They do the fusion dance
Yeah.
from Dragon Ball.
Amazing.
Originally where Goten and Trunks turn into Gotenks in the Boo Saga. They do that, but with Venusaur and Blastoise and turn into Venustoise.
Fantastic.
Okay, so but when did the Boo Saga originally get published as a
So
manga?
the Dragon Ball manga period, like including what we call Dragon Ball Z as well, finished in 95.
Okay, so this is after.
Yeah, this is definitely a reference to
Okay.
that.
Either way, it's fantastic.
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah, it has to be 100%.
Watching Blastoise and Venusaur do a fusion ha dance is so good. I've never even seen Dragon Ball, but it's amazing.
They even lean over to each other and touch tips of their fingers.
Yeah, they touch tips and thus fuse.
Ew. Ew.
It's an episode about love. He's our love expert. Nolan's our
Yeah.
love expert. Here to teach us about touching tips.
If you
An
touch
act
tips,
of
you
love.
will become one.
So a couple episodes ago, there was a moment where Brock quoted the Bible, the story of Noah. We have another Bible reference. Misty pulls out a cross to ward off the evil spirits.
Yeah, I think this one I think is less about a real world religious reference and more about that she pulls out vampire hunting
That
gear.
too.
Period.
Yeah.
It's this joke that like
Very Van Helsing of her.
yeah, because she pulls out garlic, holy water. I don't. What else does she
And a
pull out?
steak.
She pulls
A
out
steak?
garlic, a steak, and a hammer.
Yeah.
right there. And is it Ghastly who calls her out? He's like, "I'm not a vampire."
Yeah.
Like that's kind
Yeah.
that's kind of racist. Like you just assume that I have the same weaknesses of a vampire.
So then a bell tolls. It's turning into morning. As the sun rises, Ghastly disapparates. He will return in the next festival. So this Ghastly comes
Yeah,
back.
he's like, so you
every
know how I
year.
was just saying how I'm not a vampire? Well, there's one thing I do have common with a vampire. It's just a coincidence. Don't stereotype, but I can't be around during the sunlight.
And he says how he's gonna come back and make more money. So what does a Pokemon do with money? I wonder.
Well,
Especially
money
a
can buy
Ghastly.
goods and services.
What's a
Fuck off.
Ghastly gonna do with what is a Ghastly gonna do with the money? What does a ghost need? What can a ghost interact with?
What is the, yeah, I that's a good point, Nolan. What does the Ghastly need with money?
Does he just want to accrue wealth?
Yeah, I guess
Does he want to be at the top in the top rung of?
He's kind of
of-
like a squirrel who's just like finding shiny objects.
Or what's it? Magpies do that. Magpies and crows will do that.
So at the
yeah.
end of this festival, the tradition, people will send out candles on boats to guide lost spirits back home. And then we see, for the first time, the real ghost of Maiden's Peak, thanking Ghastly for keeping the legend alive. So the ghost is real. There is a real one.
What a
Is
twist.
the candles on boats thing? Is that a actual like? Is that a Japanese tradition?
Yeah. I was gonna ask if either of you knew what this whole festival it actually is like in real life, because
No, I
it is.
don't- I don't
It's
have a clue either.
probably Obon, which is a Buddhist festival that happens in late August. I actually know about Obon because like my wife's mother still celebrates it. My wife is Canadian but part Japanese. So through that history, yeah, they celebrate Obon, which is like a festival of the dead, I think loosely. And it's supposedly a time where the spirits of your loved ones can actually come back to this realm and visit. So
Oh,
they
it's like
have
sorry.
Yeah,
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, it's just like Dia de los Muertos in Mexican culture. Very similar.
Probably like Day of the
I-
Dead. I don't know
Yeah,
much
Day of the
about Day of the Dead.
Yeah, so Day of the Dead is what I've learned about this I've learned from the animated movie Coco.
Oh, nice.
Which is the premise of the film. So I imagine that they would have gotten it correct. But the idea is you put the pictures of your loved ones up on basically a shrine. It's called an ofrenda, and on the Day of the Dead or Dia de los Muertos, they're able to cross back into the land of the living, and that's how you keep your loved one's spirits alive in the spirit world.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I
and
think
if
this
somebody-
is similar. Yeah.
So in the premise of the movie is that you die two deaths. It's the which is a common phrase actually, where you die two deaths. One when your body dies, and then another death when the last person who remembers you forgets about you. So the whole premise of that movie is they're trying to the main character is trying to prevent the death, or there's a character in it who's trying to prevent his second death by getting his picture back onto his family's ofrenda.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's a good movie. Sad movie. Cried like a
Nice.
bitch.
All those movies are sad. Ain't good. Yeah, no, that sounds really similar. And I don't know the specifics of Obon and how it ties to Buddhism, but I do know that it has some component of visiting spirits. So this part with the boats then and the candles is a part at the end of Obon called Toro Nagashi, where basically you're lighting a candle to help guide the spirits back to the underworld. So this is like when they're leaving from their visits to this realm, I guess. And that's a strong. I'm glad you brought that up, Nolan. Know about this, like remembering the people after they're dead, and that being important, because that's then what Ghastly, when it's talking to the real ghost, that's sort of all she wants, is to like be remembered. And that's what Ghastly, I guess, is sort of like a, he's a ghost Pokemon and he's sort of chill with the ghosts. He's like, yeah, I got you. I got you. But that's what you want. She wants to be remembered.
I think it's kind of cool that the ghost Pokemon can exist in sort of like both planes of existence within,
super
the
cool.
realm of Pokemon, where they can be within like the physical realm and the ethereal realm, corporeal versus ethereal, and they can inhabit both in both worlds, so to speak.
They should do a spin-off about the ghosts. Like a Fatal Frame kind of thing.
That'd be cool.
Like a ghost.
Pokemon Snap. Ghost.
Pokemon Snap Ghost Edition? Oh my god. Oh my god, Game Freak, call us up. We got $1 billion idea.
Gotta trademark that real fast.
You gotta get on this and give us some of that money.
So it's the end of the festival. Back to the episode. It's the end of the festival. Everyone is participating in the festival. Brock notes that he wishes that the ghost was 2,000 years younger, and that's pretty much where the episode ends.
Yeah, and this final shot of the festival is definitely like these real festivals I was talking about, but is also an anime cliche where everybody puts on yakuta and kimonos and has mochi on a stick and dances and stuff, and we see even Joy and Jenny joining in. Oh yeah, and Team Rocket's playing the drums.
Yeah, Team Rocket's even having a good time.
Yeah, I wondered why don't they choose that as a career path?
Playing drums.
Yeah, being traditional
because
musicians.
They're good at stealing Pokemon, obviously.
Are they though?
They think they are.
They're terrible at stealing Pokemon.
They're horrible at it.
They're good at it.
You're right. They're good at theatrics.
Yes.
They'd be really good as a stage on stage.
They would be good on stage. We kind of figured out in a previous episode we think they're being coerced because they go into their finances about like what they earn from Team Rocket monthly, and it's almost nothing. So I think they're being like exploited about like room and board. Like this is kind of like typical gang stuff actually.
Yeah.
They're basically being told you're worthless. There is no other life for you except for this life.
They're being extorted into what's the word I'm looking for? It's happening again. They're being extorted into
your amnesia hits.
Indentured servitude.
Ooh, indentured
those are big
servitude.
Words.
Big term.
They are big words. Yeah.
Very big words.
Yeah, I think that is what is happening in Team Rocket. So yeah, literary time. I kind of went into I went into most of the tropes I wanted to, because about this stuff about the Mountain Witch with the unfortunate Teller Baba, and then also like the history of the festivals. There's a whole history though of like in mythology and in Asian folklore, they refer to them as white lady stories, which is like about a lady who's like waiting around for a lover, or like a scorned lover who then has some supernatural aspect, either like after she dies, that's then tied back to the real world. The rabbit hole I went down ties this to a Chinese play, 16th century play by Tang Jiangsu called The Peony Pavilion. I'm assuming that's a translated name. They call that about one of the oldest scorned lover mourning woman ghost stories, and it has that cliche in it. But that's where they're kind of like pulling that trope back to. So that's a pretty common trope in a lot of anime and manga too. It also clearly informs sort of like a conventional Japanese horror, right? Like a lot of this stuff, like The Grudge and The Ring, have to do with women, girls, etc., who unfortunate stuff happen to, and then their souls sort of take that out on the living.
There's another Dark Water or Black Water. Is that another one?
Yeah. I don't remember the Japanese name for that, but yeah.
I've seen the American version.
Yeah, I've only seen the American version of all of these two.
Well, should we move on to the rating?
Okay.
Well, I had another thought about it. If that's okay.
Oh, okay, fine.
As a guest, can I have my own movie time with Nolan? Because
fine.
I thought that this episode was Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh wow, that is a stretch. Okay.
Because you'll recall in Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark that Indiana Jones had no effect on the plot whatsoever.
Yeah, that's a common nerd argument.
Yeah.
Okay, to fill
Yeah,
people in. That
in Indiana. So Indiana Jones. Oh, you could go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, Indiana
your
Jones has no
segment.
effect on the plot of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay, so the premise is the Nazis are looking for the Ark of the Covenant, which holds the Ten Commandments. Is that the tablets of the Ten Commandments? Is that what it was? It's in the Ark. I can't remember.
Sure. I don't
Sure.
remember.
I haven't
Anyway,
seen it.
the Nazis are looking for it in the desert, and Indiana Jones wants to get it before them because obviously we don't want the Nazis to have occult shit. So Indiana Jones is looking for the Ark, and he finds it, but it ends up in the hands of the Nazis anyway, and the Nazis open it, and all of their faces melt. The argument is that was all going to happen anyway, so Indiana Jones had no effect on the plot of the movie whatsoever. And in this episode, Ash, Misty, and Brock have no effect on the plot whatsoever. They are just there as observers. Ghastly's doing its thing. Anyway, the festival happens. They're just kind of along for the ride.
That might be the biggest stretch we've had so far. Congratulations.
It was pretty
You're welcome.
good. Yeah, I like how you really zoned in on a very specific aspect of the plot structure. That's what I live for, right?
Yeah, you go.
Creating
just
meaning where
observers.
there is none.
They're just observers.
They are just observers.
They're not participants.
Also,
they kinda are,
can
but-
we go back to bashing Kellen's tastes in media? You haven't seen Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark,
I have not. No.
but you've seen. What have you seen? Anything?
I've seen
Just
one of the
Pokemon?
Indiana Jones films. I think it's whatever the first
Which
one
one?
is.
That's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders.
I don't think it was that one. Maybe it
That's
was
the
the
first
second
one.
Is it?
Maybe
Does
it's
it
the
have an
second one.
annoying kid in it?
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Temple of
Or
Doom is the second
Is there a
one.
woman that screams
I
Andy over
don't
and over again?
know. I do not
And then
remember.
the annoying kid named Short Round goes,
Yeah.
I may have not been
Indy,
paying much
your
attention.
heart!
Or is
when
Sean
they're about to
Connery
take
in
out
it?
his... That's the third one. But
Yeah.
number 2, where they're about to rip out Indy's heart, and they're
Yeah.
like, Kalima! Kalima! Indy, your heart!
All right, let's do the rating. Let's get to
This
that.
is now an Indiana Jones podcast. Okay, yeah. For poor time, we're going to pull up random categories and rank this episode based on them. Do you have your ping pongs with you?
I do not have the physical four-pour with me, but I do have the spreadsheet of all the categories that are in the four-pour.
That's the balls.
And I think
Switched
as
around.
as the guest, we'll let Nolan pick a number between 1 and
Oh.
24.
That's a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
23.
23 is sweet sentences. That'll be
Ooh,
our first
okay,
category.
so this is where we
Hmm.
highlight good sentences that we like. Yeah, if only you were 2,000 years younger. There's that one. I thought I had another one written down. Jesse saying, "You ain't got a ghost of a chance." Ooh, that's
Ew.
not
Yeah.
bad. It's not bad.
There's I like Ghastly's smoking is prohibited
Nice.
with the
nice.
coughing.
Yeah.
Joy's whole staying up late is bad for the skin.
That's funny.
That's good. If
I'll say
you're
7.
here, at least come out and tell us. Yeah, it's not bad. I go with a 7 as well.
Nolan,
Oh,
I
you
get a
really
rating
like
as well.
Jesse's. I
That's how
didn't
this
know
works.
that. I really enjoyed Jesse's rant about asserting her independence as a woman.
I like
so
that too, yeah.
that alone will bump it up. I'll go with an 8.
7, 7, and 8. What the hell is the average? I think that's just 7.
7, 7, 8.
7,
That's like
7.
7.3
If we're
repeating,
rounding,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah, that's 0.3
Yeah.
repeating of course.
7.3 repeating. Okay, we'll go with that.
Of course.
That's only
course.
the first category. Give us another number.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we do 2 categories.
4.
4. The soundtrack.
Oh, shit! It's in the
I
next
had-
episode.
Yeah.
We should have pulled that in the next episode.
Nothing.
The
Okay,
next
pause.
The next episode has really interesting soundtrack choices.
Yeah.
I don't remember
did
this one's soundtrack
Nothing
at all.
stood out. Even
Yeah.
even the song at the end where Jesse and James are supposedly participating in the song, I don't remember.
Me either. Do
No,
you,
not at
Kellen?
all. No, but there's
Also
nothing
zero.
like specifically bad. I
0.
wouldn't say 0 because it wasn't
Zeros.
bad.
Well, 0's the baseline.
No,
No,
we
it's
determined
5 the
last
baseline?
time that 5 is the
Okay,
baseline.
it's 5. Okay, 5 then.
Yeah, nothing stood out good or bad. I guess 5.
7.3
Repeating,
plus,
of course.
Yeah, 7.333333333 plus
Accurate.
5
Important.
divided by 2. Today, Ghost of Maiden's Peak is 6.16 repeating out of 10.
Oh, there
Nice.
you go.
I read somewhere that NASA, when doing their planetary calculations, they only use like 6 decimal places or something, or 4.
Okay.
Cool.
It's accurate. That's all. That's if 4 decimal places is good enough for NASA, it's good enough for this podcast.
It's good enough for the 4 pour.
There you go.
All right, let's move on to episode 21. One of the most iconic episodes of the entire anime. It's Bye Bye Butterfree.
Kick us off.
Okay, fine. I thought maybe you wanted to add something, but whatever.
That's a play on Bye Bye Birdie, classic musical.
No, it's just
it's
what
what it is.
the game says when you release a Pokemon. It just says Bye Bye Pokemon.
I choose to believe it's a reference to Bye Bye Birdie.
So the gang is off to Saffron City now, which is kind of out of the intended order of the games because usually it would be Celadon. Like Erica is considered the 4th gym leader.
Yeah, I was going to
But after
ask you about
Surge-
gym orders. They're looking for Saffron City now?
Yeah, after Surge you can pretty much do everything you want.
Open world.
The only restrictions you have after Misty, because you can do Surge, Erica, Sabrina, Koga in any order you want. The only restrictions are that you have to have 7 badges before you fight Giovanni, and that you fight Koga before you fight Blaine because you need access to Surf. Otherwise, you can do whatever you want, but Sabrina is intended to be like 5th or 6th.
So Ash is doing whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm. So they come across Butterfree's Season
Oh.
of Love, where they mate
Season of
and they lay
love.
their eggs across the sea.
I enjoyed the fact that they started the episode with all of them in the Call of the Void. It was very relatable. For those of you that don't know what the Call of the Void is, it's that feeling when you're at a high place of wanting to leap. And it's an intrusive thought. It's a common intrusive
I didn't
thought
know
that
this
many
had a
people have.
term.
It's the term. The term is the Call of the Void. Sounds
Oh,
very Lovecraftian.
Very
That's
it
dark.
what it
does.
Yeah, and so Ash starts wondering if he should let his Butterfree go be a dad, go be a parent.
Yeah, this episode puts a lot of emphasis on having children, doesn't
Yeah.
it? They're like, oh, that Butterfree. That'd be so sad if it couldn't have kids.
I got words to say about the whole thing, but we'll save that for a little later.
Yeah, this episode gets a little weird.
So the gang follows Butterfree in a hot air balloon. A, where did they get it? B, why is there no hot air balloon like pilot attendant? They're just letting these children fly a hot air balloon through the sky. That
I
seems
have a
very
theory
dangerous.
here. I have a theory here. You know, all that time Brock was spending away from the group in previous episodes, he was getting his hot air balloon license.
Wow, that's a good insight. He does just
Perfect.
disappear randomly a lot, so...
And I got a lot of problems with the way the hot air balloon is portrayed in.
Okay,
in
let's hear
this
your
episode.
problems. I don't have problems. Let's hear your
Hot air
problems.
balloons are a very passive method of flight.
Right.
Okay, you don't have control. The only way that you can move in a hot air balloon is if you take advantage of the different levels of air currents that exist in the atmosphere. Now, there's different in the different levels of the atmosphere, the wind is going to be going in different directions, and that is literally the only control you have of your directionality when you're piloting a hot air balloon. They seem to just be able to go wherever they want, whenever they want, and it's bullshit.
It's a magic hot air balloon.
Not how it works.
Not how it works.
That's how it works
Owned
if you have magic.
So they follow the Butterfree, all the Butterfree out. Ash lets his Butterfree out so he can get his
freak
groove
on.
Get
Oh,
his
it's
groove
Butterfree
on.
speed dating here at the OK Corral.
So trainers all from all over the place are letting out their Butterfree. They're releasing them into the wild so they can go have their own families. Of course, Brock sees a cute girl in another hot air balloon. He freaks out. He wants Ash's Butterfree to go get her Butterfree so that the trainers can fall in love because that's exactly how that works.
Yeah,
Brock is just always looking for an in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's looking for more than that. Brock wants Butterfree to be his wingman.
Hey-o.
What's up?
Hey-o.
Hey yo.
I like Misty's line of I think I'm jumping ahead here.
Uh-oh. Well,
You can cut
Okay.
that.
Well, Misty does have a line around here where she's saying that all Butterfree look the same.
Yeah.
I thought that was,
First
I thought that
she
was some
assumed
racist bullshit.
that Ghastly is a vampire now she's all Butterfrees look the same to her. I don't know.
Yeah, oh,
It's
Misty is
Misty.
not okay. Yeah, Jesse was the best in that last episode. Misty is not looking good in these two
She is
episodes.
the worst. in
Misty
this
is
episode.
Tucker Carlson. She's gone off the deep end.
She's I was thinking she's Jordan Peterson, but
Yeah, or Ben Shapiro.
got these antiquated ideas.
Now let's say
of how the world
hypothetically
works.
that Butterfree do look all the same. That's all I got.
Now do a Kermit the Frog voice.
Hi-yo. Oh my god.
That was Jordan Peterson. Perfect.
Hi-yo. Hi-yo. Kermit the Frog here. Yay!
Yeah, I want to hear Kermit the Frog talking about how all Butterfree are the same.
All these Butterfree look exactly the same to me. I can't tell the difference between any single Butterfree, even though in Gen 2 onwards, Butterfree between male and female actually do have different patterns on their wings and antenna that are different lengths.
That was incredible. And a
That's a
big
fact.
disclaimer, folks, that was not generated with AI. That sounded like an
That was
AI
live.
generated.
I'm gonna be listening
was
to that
live.
back later, and oh my god, that's probably horrible.
No, it was incredible.
Okay.
Now this episode
you.
let me into another insight about Brock. Okay.
Okay.
We know that Brock he's obsessed with meeting a girl who he can ostensibly then have sex with. It's because he's a breeder. He wants to be a Pokemon breeder. He has
Oh, I didn't
breeding
tie that together.
fetish. Mhm.
Interesting.
Oh, you think he watches them? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe not the Pokemon specifically.
We're
but
outing
his
you,
core is
Brock. That's gross.
His identity, everything about Brock seems to revolve around the act of breeding, sex.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I
Yes,
never
you're
put
not
that
wrong.
together. Just like I never put together that Misty's name has to do with water. So
Connections.
So Butterfree
Now, are we also
spies...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, what you're gonna say is what
go
I
ahead,
was
Kermit.
going to talk
Okay.
about.
I'll just do the rest of the episode in the Kermit voice. So Butterfree sees another pink Butterfree on the
Please
air.
don't. Please don't.
So Butterfree sees a pink Butterfree flying around. He starts doing his mating dance to entice her, but she slaps him. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
What color are shiny Butterfrees in the game? Are they
Butterfree,
pink?
no, they should have been. But Butterfree shiny is pretty much the same, except it's like its body is I think like a tiny bit darker, and its eyes are green.
So why is this Butterfree pink? Are we
Who
to
fucking knows?
believe that this is the only female Butterfree?
Well, it's not a female
Apparently
Butterfree.
they've tied
necessarily.
female Butterfree. Well, isn't I'm pretty sure. Okay, is Ash's Butterfree male?
They always refer to Ash's Pokemon, at least in this generation, as it, because Generation 1 Pokemon didn't have genders in the
Okay,
games.
well, I am quickly gonna look up the ratio.
I believe it's
of,
50-50.
Butterfrees.
Most Pokemon are 50-50 in general.
Yeah, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's just
Why
a
is
it's
this
just a
one
way to
pink? And
make
why
it
does
stand
nobody
out.
call attention to it?
Who knows?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't have a lore connection. I was going to ask about that too, but it sounds like just a one-off. It's clearly they just did this for the episode so that you could keep track of the characters.
But
Because Misty's right, okay? I hate to say it, she's right. They all look the same. No, but so they do that to because we'll see right
Maybe
away.
it's Ash's Butterfree.
They do this. They change Ash's Butterfree a little
Mhm.
bit too.
Gives him a
Yeah,
little scarf. It's adorable.
It is.
It is very
adorable.
cute.
So the Butterfree, Ash's Butterfree, yeah, flies off in shame. He's embarrassed. Gang's looking for it. He's depressed from the rejection. Brock is being weird and dramatic again.
He
talking
gets it.
about his
Brock
own
relates.
personal heartache.
He could write a book about
he
it.
relates in the worst ways, though. And
does.
okay, I had to remind myself a lot in this episode that they're animals. Like, this stuff does exist in the animal kingdom, so it's not that weird. But if you take what they're saying and their attitudes, if you try to project that onto people, it's extremely disheartening. It's this it's this viewpoint that their value comes down to like their ability to get a mate, and that getting a mate comes through kind of prowess, right? Like alpha male sort of bullshit.
There in one of Misty's lines where she talks about how the pink Butterfree rejected Butterfree, and how could she do that? And it's like, Misty, is Ash's Butterfree entitled to mate with the pink Butterfree? It's like, hey, I just did this cool kickflip, now fuck me. Right? Like, that's what it sounds. That's what it sounds like.
Kickflip, now fuck me. Yes, that is what it sounds like. Look at my sweet trick,
Napoleon Dynamite out here. If that was the world, Napoleon Dynamite would be swimming in it. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. Yeah, and why
Misty's advice sucks.
Misty's advice is cancerous. Oh my goodness, is it horrible? Because yeah, she's so appalled thinking that this is all on the female Butterfree, right? That she should be taking accountability for the feelings that are going on here. Mm-hmm. But it's her body, Misty.
Yeah. And then she gets even worse when she says that love is an aggressive thing. Like,
I wrote that whole thing down.
She says, okay, you do it. You do it. In the Kermit the Frog voice. No, in your regular voice.
Okay.
Tell us what Misty said.
You said it. I'll do it in the Kermit voice. She said,
no.
Love is all about attacking your opponent first. Get any quick punch and surprise them while they're still weak. Take the lead and you'll beat them hands down. Yay!
Okay, so love is all about attacking your opponent first. Yeah, Brock's all into that. He's like, I should have been doing that all the time. Like, they're just like, oh my god.
Well, the problem comes down to viewing a relationship as that's happening.
Sport.
As like a sport, which is a kind of a tenet or symptom of a toxic masculinity within the society.
Incels, like, rape culture, lots of
just basically the patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
Stuff, right? We may lose some viewers here using the P word, but
what viewers?
Yeah, that is a result of it, right? Where sex and relationships is seen as a sport, or you get like the woman that the man gets is like a quote unquote trophy, right? And that's exactly what's happening. And Brock really fucking likes this idea. He wants to write a book, and that book would be terrible.
It would be like The Game or something. It would be like this horrible self-help book from Andrew Tate or something.
The art of
but we're naming a lot of pieces of shit this episode.
The art of sealing the deal.
Oh, gross. Gross.
And then they asked Dexter.
Yes, Ash asks a machine for love advice, which I thought was funny.
Oh, this is really where the game comes up. This should have been. He was basically like, Dexter, get me a copy of 2004's How to Pick Up Women. Just pirate it. Come on, Dexter.
Like they're going to one of those Las Vegas pickup artists. Going to a conference, learning about peacocking and shit.
Dexter, please download 2005's Will Smith movie Hitch, where Will Smith teaches Kevin James how to pick up women.
So Brock gives Butterfree a little scarf, as we said. It's very cute. And Butterfree again tries to court the pink Butterfree by showing off its moves, but she is not interested. Come on, Butterfree, take the hint. Back off.
Yeah, just move on.
I really did enjoy Ash's dynamic in this whole thing, where he's just like encouraging Butterfree to be confident and do the things that he does best, and maybe that'll work. He's kind of just like a proud parent.
I agree. Ash was a homie during this.
Ash is very sweet.
For all of Ash's stupid moments, for how idiotic he is, he does genuinely really care about Pokemon.
Yeah, and he's just encouraging Butterfree to be his best self, and if that works, it'll work. And if it doesn't, well, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. And that's the right attitude.
It is.
Brock and Misty can get fucked. Just fuck off. Oh my god.
So Team Rocket is back. Shocker. What a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
This time, I was expecting a vacuum again, but they use a giant net to scoop up the Butterfree.
Where'd that come from? The Pokeball!
Exactly,
Came
there
from
you
the
go.
Pokeball.
I think they
And
do
Meowth-
have like this Pokeball stuff going on. They show up in the sweetest Team Rocket branded Apache attack helicopter. It is cool as heck. I want a model of this thing. Could you imagine like a model of that exact helicopter? Damn.
That'd be cool.
And Meowth drops a good pun. Let's do some networking. Boom,
Very
boom.
good.
Networking.
Well, they got this huge
Networking.
net. Get it? It's a net. It's a net. Get it?
Oh my god.
Yeah, and James says those Butterfree are free no more.
They scoop up all the Butterfree, including the pink Butterfree. Ash's Butterfree sees this, goes into action, trying to tackle a fucking helicopter. Butterfree, you're like,
That's stupid.
Tries to stun spore a helicopter.
yeah.
And then Ash wants to send a Pidgeotto to help, and then Misty, with another hot fucking take, is like, "No, don't do that. Let Butterfree keep trying because of his feelings." When all of these other Butterfree are getting kidnapped.
Her exact words was, "No, don't do it, Ash. You'll emasculate him." No, those weren't her exact words, but that was basically what she was
Paraphrasing.
getting at.
Yeah. Oh, as if. Yeah. Misty is having
As
a
if
rough
the male
episode.
identity needs to still come down to this chauvinistic bullshit.
What I was most concerned about in these helicopter scenes is these giant blades in amongst all of these small
Yeah.
winged Pokemon
Oh.
in
That's
the
true.
air. I thought we might be seeing a Butterfree massacre going on.
Yeah.
That could have been PG-13.
Get
this
into the meat
episode.
grinder.
Butterfree sausages.
Does Team Rocket ever do that? The Team
I
Rocket
highly
meat
doubt
grinder.
A little dark for a children's show.
Yeah.
So Butterfree and the gang follow Team Rocket to a canyon where Team Rocket is in a new warehouse counting their all their new Butterfree.
Brock wants to chase this helicopter by igniting the burner, which apparently is going to speed them up. That's just going to
I
take
know,
you
they're-
higher, Brock.
They're like, we can't catch him. The helicopter's too
Let's go
fast.
farther away.
They're going so fast.
Let's
we
gain
can't catch 'em."
altitude.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Idiot. The only way that works is if there is an air current, a wind pattern higher up that is going in that direction. But I think Brock's just an idiot.
Yeah. They're all idiots. So the gang breaks into the warehouse and they steal Team Rocket's motto, which is another great motto moment. Great motto moments from these episodes.
Yeah, where the gang starts doing the Team Rocket motto. Very cool.
Mhm.
Team Rocket has like some very rudimentary weapons too. Instead of using Pokemon, Jesse's holding a hammer, and James has like a blacksmith's. What are those called? Pincers?
Tongs. Or no.
Tongs? Yeah.
Yeah, tongs, I think. Yeah. Forceps.
Forceps.
That's
That's
just
actually
medical.
that
That's
might
medical.
be. Well, they're like farm forceps. They're like for a
Yeah.
cow or something.
So the fight's on. Misty sends out Starmie to distract
The
Team
music.
Rocket. The music gets good. Butterfree goes to save the other ones. The pink Butterfree sees the determination in Ash's Butterfree's eyes and starts to fall in him. See, Butterfree, all you had to do was just be yourself. That's the lesson here.
Just tackle a wooden cage a million times
Yeah.
until you are physically exhausted and possibly have some broken bones. But I guess Butterfrees don't really have bones. They have an exoskeleton.
But none of this should matter, right? None of this has anything to do with love.
No.
And then Jesse hits Starmie with a fucking sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Just
Jessie
like
with the
a
sledgehammer.
Baseball.
She's MVP.
And then Misty, where the hell that water pack come from?
Just has a hose out of nowhere.
Yeah, she's gonna revive
Big fan of
Starmie
Super
now.
Mario Sunshine, I guess.
That's totally Flood. Super
carries
Mario
a
Sunshine.
flood around in her pocket all the time.
Yeah, we haven't seen this thing before either. Was it in
It's
the
like
hot
this-
air balloon with them?
She uses it like a senzu bean.
Yeah, she
Just
does.
Starmie.
Yeah, Senzu Bean, Dragon Ball Z reference. Tons of Dragon Ball references now to revive the Starmie.
Senzu bean.
Nice.
So Brock opens the door. All the Butterfree escape back into the sky, but the pink one stays back. She's got a thing for Ash's Butterfree now. How sweet. And then Team Rocket's back in the sky with another net. trying to do it. Pikachu jumps on Butterfree. Very epic moment. Jumps onto Team Rocket's helicopter. Shocks him out of the sky.
I was laughing so hard at this point. Pikachu's expression.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
When he
this is when
lands on
Pikachu
the
lands
windshield.
on the helicopter's windshield, and it sort of like cuts between Team Rocket saying it's
gonna shock us.
us, and
gonna shock
Pikachu
us.
is like slowly ramping up.
He's got this psychotic grin on his face.
He does.
Pikachu is legitimately enjoying this.
Oh, his face looks like Christian Bale in American Psycho. Patrick Bateman
Looking-
murdering Paul Allen while listening to Huey Lewis in the news.
Have you ever heard of or have you heard Genesis, or what is it?
Well, Phil Collins.
Yeah, I can't remember the
It's
quote.
more poppy than his previous Genesis
Yeah.
works. Less of a progressive sound.
Try getting a reservation at Dorset now.
Is that an axe? Why, yes, it is, Paul.
Yes, it is, Paul. Yes.
Yeah, so that's Pikachu right here.
Yeah.
Pikachu's the harbinger of doom. This cute little destroyer of worlds.
Pikachu's the best character in the show.
The comedic timing that was hilarious. Back and forth. Like, what did they do? Like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
so good.
amazing.
It's gonna
Until
shock
he
us.
until Pikachu finally lets go and just blows up the helicopter. He
Yeah.
has murdered Team Rocket. They fall to their demise in a crevasse.
Into a little, what is it? That little glint
Yeah.
of
Ba-ding!
what's the word I'm looking for now when you see it in an FPS game where you see the scope, the
I don't know, but you
um,
need a
know what I'm talking
dictionary on hand.
I
You cannot remember anything.
I make
A
these connections, but I don't
crosshairs?
have the vocabulary. No, it's the scope. I'm looking it up.
Compelling.
um,
Dun, 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 dun.
Bow, 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 wow, 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 wow.
okay, well, it's a real thing. A sniper scope will glint when the sun goes off of it at a certain angle and will reveal the location of a sniper. It happens in a pivotal scene in Saving Private Ryan, where the sniper scope glint gives away where the sniper is.
Oh, from the
before-
bell tower.
from the bell tower, and the bell tower sniper, the German one, sees our hero sniper from the good U.S. of A. And he's just scanning around. He sees the glint right before he gets shot in the face through his own scope. Amazing.
It is.
But-
I gotta say, it is nice to have someone else on this podcast who has seen a movie before.
That's what I bring
Shut
to
up.
this. A movie
seen
here and there.
It's like, what? What movie have you seen? And Pokemon the movie doesn't count. Pikachu, Detective Pikachu doesn't count.
I saw Spinal Tap.
You seen Spinal Tap?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best movie. Okay, you're
Spinal
back
Tap's
in my
great.
good books. I love Spinal Tap. Okay, wait a minute. That's the one movie you've seen? I think it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but that's a very niche movie.
I've seen a lot of movies. I just haven't seen a lot of mainstream movies. Like the really, really popular ones.
We had to sit him down at our place with the whole family there one night to watch Star Wars. We just decided to watch Star Wars because Kellen had never seen it.
It was okay.
So we watched Star Wars, and it was okay, apparently.
It was fine.
The first one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like A New Hope, original.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Pokemon. So now that Team Rocket is gone, the pink Butterfree starts doing her mating dance in front of Ash's Butterfree. So now they're both in love.
Shorty got low.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the apple bottom jeans on.
The boots with the fur
Mm-hmm.
had the whole
The
club.
whole
She's not
club's looking
wearing
at
boots.
her.
She's not wearing boots.
Yeah. She hits the floor.
There's no floor.
Next thing you know,
Shorty's getting low.
low.
Low. Very low. Spoken word. This spoken word rendition of apple bottom jeans.
Snaps all
William-
around.
William
William
Shatner.
Shatner.
Well, I don't know the actual name of the song.
It's low, I
Is
think.
that it? I don't know. Is it just low?
I think it's low. Back on the cliff,
Yeah, by Flow Rider.
Ash decides to release the Butterfree so that he can go start a family and be happy. Hopefully one day we'll see Butterfree again. It's a very emotional moment. The most emotional
Butterfrees
moment
mate
we've
for
had.
life? That seems to be the implication.
Yeah, I would say so.
So as the Butterfrees are flying away, we get the best sad rock ballad ever.
Amazing.
It's this corny but amazing like foreigner song, basically.
Pikachu is crying too. It's all...
And it's
It's
a
so sad.
montage where
Yep.
you know, in a very clever business tactic, the animators got to reuse tons of frames from previous episodes.
They saved about a minute's worth of animation.
Yeah. And it
That is
transitions
dozens and dozens of dollars.
It's actually
Right there.
Given animator salaries, yes, very good joke, Dylan. So they transition from the sad rock ballad into the theme song, the Pokemon theme song. This is good. This is a shonen cliche, but every shonen fan knows that when they use the anime theme song in a pivotal moment, it's fire. When you get the theme song back in the episode, ooh.
Yeah, so we get this montage of all of the memories we had since Ash caught Caterpie, into Metapod, into Butterfree. It's all very emotional. We had, I believe, 19 episodes with this Pokemon, and we'll never forget it. We'll never forget you, Butterfree.
Caterpie's arc came full circle because what do we learn about Caterpie in that first episode? All he
wanted
wants
to fly.
is to fly and be free, right?
Right.
Beautiful.
And
It's beautiful.
now he is.
Oh,
Yeah, this
warms
is
your
the
heart.
if you
Full
live
circle.
something, let it. If you love something, let it free kind of thing.
Yeah. If you live something, let it leave.
Spread your wings and fly.
So Butterfree flies off into the sunset to the Pokemon theme, and that is the end of the episode.
And Brock actually has a really good insightful moment at this point, where
Oh yes,
what
he
does
notes
say?
Ash's growth.
No, well, that was the narrator, wasn't it? Or was it both of them?
That was
Okay,
both
what
of
does
them, I
Brock say?
Oh no, he says that it takes a lot of courage for Butterfree to leave, but then he also tells Ash that Ash had a lot of courage to let Butterfree leave as
Yeah,
well.
it's like a parental moment.
think. Mm-hmm. It's all very sweet.
Well, Brock, good thing that you can say something not creepy. I didn't know you had it
He
in
does
you.
have it. He has some gems now and again as the quote unquote mature one of.
Yeah,
the
but then he'll
group.
follow it up like with something absurdly creepy and just ruin it. He's like, "Well, Ash, you're a great parent to that Butterfree." But-
He's Ash's Master Roshi.
Oh, yes. But now that the Butterfree is gone, a good thing I got these photos of the Butterfree fucking before it left.
Binders of Butterfrees.
Binders of Butterfree. We've got binders of Butterfrees.
Gross.
Yeah, that's
All right, is it time for the literary minute?
It is time for literary hour. Okay, so this is like courtly love stories. You know, I said at the beginning, courtly love with Courtney Love. Courtly love stories is this cliche that goes back a long time past, I think, just written stories, but in sort of like pretty old, like we're talking even like 11th century kind of medieval stuff. About obsessive romances. It's a male viewing on female typically, and it's about where the man's kind of whole purpose comes down to this romance. It's based on infatuation. Like often they won't even know the woman beforehand. So
Romeo
one
and
of
Juliet.
the Romeo and Juliet, yeah, exactly. And one of the classic stories, even older than Romeo and Juliet, is Lancelot, the Knight of the Cart.
Yes.
So this is Lancelot and Guinevere. Guinevere was King Arthur's wife. Okay, she gets captured by a warring kingdom, and King Arthur is kind of giving an appeal. Different knights can go off and try to get her back. Lancelot falls in love with her on his own, though, and he does whatever it takes to get her back. He's demeaning himself. He's going through trials. When he does save her, he even goes through more trials where he'll do whatever she asks for, like various demands to win her love. And this is all kind of a pompous show, even when it's seen through the lens of him going through different trials. Maybe that's supposed to be virtuous, but it's all to support this infatuation, which is a very surface level thing, right? But it's the grips and the consuming nature of that infatuation that's a key the key thing that pushes the plot forward. So this is a courtly love trope, really, what they put Butterfree through here. He is Lancelot, the captured Pink Butterfree. That's Guinevere being captured, and him having to go through the sort of a pompous showboating to try to get her back and win love. Love being a very superficial concept here.
Interesting.
Kind of sounds like the plot of Shrek.
Oh my
Except with,
god.
love.
Well, Shrek's a subversion of a.
Yeah,
of
that's exactly it. Yeah.
Shrek is a subversion of a courtly love story, and that's not. I think it's absolutely supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of like it's lampshading it or lampooning it in a sense.
Yeah, for sure. Modernizing it through that, because even at the time, like this is courtly love stories. Calling them old is an exaggeration. Like we would say, like 80s sitcom love tropes is like old. This is like 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else for comparisons? Nolan, you got another. You got another Harrison Ford movie? Air Force One? It's like Air Force One when Butterfree kicks the Russians off the plane and goes, "Get off my plane!"
Okay, Mac. Harrison Ford movies. No, not specifically. What Lies Beneath? I don't know. No, is that Harrison Ford? That's Harrison Ford. Michelle Pfeiffer. Does he let her go at the end? I don't remember.
The Fugitive? He's got
I
one
haven't
arm.
seen The Fugitive.
Oh, he's framed for his wife's murder.
Ah.
And
also
the man
common
has
trope.
one arm. Yeah.
All right.
All
that's
right.
right.
Let's get to 4-4.
All right. Give us another number, Nolan. 1 to 24.
7.
7 is anime sweat drops.
Ooh, I actually noted this one.
Oh, sweet. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so after the Gashang does their version of the Team Rocket.
Yeah, Meowth has one, right?
No, they all do.
Oh, they all do. Nice.
Yeah, they all have a sweat drop. Yeah.
It's a good
Jesse
moment.
James, Meow.
Ash
Yeah, at
has
least
one
3.
when Misty accuses Ash of trying to emasculate Butterfree with his Pidgeotto. Ash has one.
Okay.
So 4.
So
What does that
there's
mean?
another one. The whole gang has one when the Butterfree gets slapped at the beginning.
No.
A lot.
So sad.
Yeah. Pretty good.
I'd
So
say
we're at
6.
Sweat drop usages.
So we're at 7. 7 sweat drops.
Yeah, so
I
I
would
like
say-
it.
Is that a 7 out of 10? Or is that a 13 out of 10? Or 12 out of 10?
I mean,
We're
it's
starting at
good
5.
use of sweat drops. I'd say at least a 9.
Jesus. I was saying like 7 or 6.
What is a 10 out of 10 sweat drop to you?
I don't know. Just like
It's
really,
true.
really funny ones.
Oh, I think the response to the gang doing the Team Rocket chant is pretty good.
That's a good one.
Gashang.
So yeah, I go as low as I'll go as low as an 8.
Nobody getting my joke. Maybe it works better in print.
No, I don't get what you're saying actually.
You know how they call in Avatar: The Last Airbender? They call it the gang with 2 A's.
Okay.
The Ash Ang.
Ugh. Terrible.
You're never coming
Horrible.
back on this podcast again.
Banned.
Oh shit!
Banned.
I'm kidding.
All right, well, I think it was a good one. Leave on a decent, a high-ish note, I suppose.
Yeah.
Nolan is no longer welcome.
What are we
Watch you something
giving?
different.
Okay, what's the number we're giving? 8?
You said 8. I'll say 7.
I said I'd go as low as an 8. I said 9.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll say 7. Nolan.
We'll say I'll say an 8.
Okay, so 8. The
So
9,
8,
the 7,
okay.
and 8.
Cool. That's easy head math.
Mental
All right,
math,
one
they
more number.
usually call that.
One more number.
13.
13 is Officer Jenny Energy. I don't believe she was in the episode.
Nah,
No.
roll again.
Roll again.
17.
Ash being a moron.
Oh, he's
I don't think
sweet in this episode.
He's
I
very
don't think he
sweet in
was
this
stupid
moment,
in this episode
Misty
at all.
and Brock are morons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, 2.
I'd say 0. I thought he was the most mature of the bunch.
Yeah,
So 4.
Okay,
Yeah, but
I
he's
can-
still
I'll-
stupid
I'll
all the
gi-
time.
I'll give him a 1.
Okay, so 1. Easy.
Ash didn't have a lot to say or do this episode, actually. He didn't do much. It
Almost
was-
like Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Exactly.
That's called a callback, folks.
So it's that. Last one was 8 and 1, so 4.5 out of 10. for Bye Bye Butterfree
Solid
for one of the most
episode.
iconic episodes ever.
I actually, if you know, like the really iconic ones often get shitty scores. Like there was another one. Was it the Charmander one that got
think
like just
so.
a horrible score?
Yeah,
And some
I
of the
think so.
episodes that like really suck, like Beauty and the Beach, got like an 8 or something.
It's well, what can you do? It's objective.
It's objective. You can't
Yeah,
argue with it.
That's how it
Yeah.
works.
Oh.
All right, that is today. That's what we got for today.
Yeah,
How's
what are we doing
everything?
next week, Kellen?
You guys talk a little bit while I pull up what we do next week.
Thanks for having me.
Hope you had fun joining us, Nolan. It's a
I
good
did.
time.
It was good. It was fun. I enjoyed talking about how shitty some of the stuff in Pokemon can be and how ridiculous it is once you start to go beyond the surface level of it. But I don't know, the nostalgia factor was high and I really enjoyed it. So thank you.
It's not a bad show.
Not horrible.
I think that we're funny fans to be doing a podcast like this in a way. Kellen is clearly a Pokemon fan. There's big Pokemon YouTube channels who look at Pokemon as it becomes so sacred, and and I hope that we can give an avenue in that anyone can follow. Really, it's just through the nonsense, through the fun, through the weird stuff, and tying it back to other things than just Pokemon.
Yeah. Take it off the
You
pedestal.
also got to remember too that like this, especially this season, is made for children, not for 24 and 32-year-olds.
But it's always good to take the whether it's the media or anything that is up in the stratosphere, bring it down to ground level, ground it in reality a little bit. Yeah,
Shoot
give
it
a
out
shit.
of the sky like a Chinese spy balloon.
Ew, topical, kind of.
That reference will be dated in a couple of years.
Yeah, this is no longer evergreen. Sorry.
All right, next week. You want to know what we're doing next week?
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Next week is another triple. Oh, baby, a triple. We got the Sabrina arc. It is episode 22, Abra and the Psychic Showdown, followed by episode 23, The Tower of Terror, and episode 24, Haunter versus Kadabra.
Haunter, I hardly knew her.
Heyo,
Is that how you do it? Did I actually get it right this time?
kind of. It ended with her, so
It is.
samurai.
All right, yeah.
RPG.
So,
Fucking
It's like a 5-year-old trying to tell a joke. They understand a structure, but they don't understand how to actually make it funny.
that's why Samurai, I hardly knew her was funny.
So
Thank you. Thank
stupid.
you. All right, so thanks everyone for tuning in. This is To Kill a Delibird with Graham and Kellen. Special guest Nolan, thanks a lot for joining us this week. You can find us on YouTube, on the Skittlewickers YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, shout us out in the comments. We've got a bit more engagement lately, and we love to see that. Thanks for everyone engaging. You can give us ideas as well as new categories for the forepaw at tokilladelibird@gmail.com, and find us wherever fine podcasts are downloaded.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, Delibirders. Catch you later.
See you next Monday.
Monday.